Man, the hallway is, like, way too red. You can't focus on, like, your job.
I know. Red alert means you can't see while you're doing stuff.
Red alert. We're all already dead. You never take the elevator in an emergency.
Yeah.
I mean, in Star Trek they do.
In case of emergency, take Jeffrey's tube. I love how they're like, Picard, start on unnecessary violence.
Oh, he's there.
Bridge control transfer.
Why didn't it hit her?
3, 2, 1.
2 weeks earlier.
I just don't care.
Yeah, that was a really poor opening because it's like
when you've literally killed the main character, I don't understand how you're supposed to be invested.
he's a robot.
Oh no, a robot's having some hard times. The Travis Fickett was consulting. That's who did 12 Monkeys with
Okay.
Terry, so he probably came in too.
Where's your uniform?
You just look so old there.
Ha! I told you. I was 2 weeks off, but 2 days earlier.
I love how, like, to really hammer home time travel, this song is so overused in Time Thing.
Yeah, why do you even need humans there if you're just gonna teleport them with robots? You teleport them into wooden bushels?
And then make people carry them around. See, she was the only person who's like, she was in like hardly any of season 1, and then they put the label on by, oh come on, I can't with
That's
this.
silly.
I liked at least her acting in it. She was in it for like 2 seconds, but I'm like, she didn't drive me nuts.
The idea of her character was something that could have been cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's not in the show meant it wasn't tainted.
Yeah.
Where's your husband?
Yeah.
L'chaim.
By the way, we're all Jewish. You could tell by the credits, but I didn't know we were gonna... Oh, okay, we'll just pretend to be... I think that in Star Trek they're so over being racist that they can say stuff like,
oh yeah,
your Klingon blood makes you angry.
Yeah.
It's like...
A confirmation of hard work well done.
Yeah, this robot's put in a lot of hours.
You must miss him. I do.
Oh wait, is he not? Could we not get him for season 2?
Did you know we were promised to each other at birth?
I had no idea.
I've known you forever, never spoke to you. I just love when they make scenes like this, where they're telling each other things that they definitely should know about each other, just for the audience's benefit.
And then we honor that love by loving again. Even more deeply still.
Is she coming on to him?
I mean, if we're gonna have the F-bomb, we may as well have some titties.
Am I being too personal?
No.
No, you just live in my home and we work together every day. Please don't ask me personal questions.
I've spent my life in the stars.
Creating a found family, and at the last episode I played cards with them. Realizing I was missing out.
Yeah, so it kind of left you at the end of that show thinking he wouldn't be a doddering old hermit and a thing, not, with anyone. They're like, you know what this show needs? Violence and an awkward romantic scene with the 80-something-year-old man. Beverly Crusher or no one.
Where is old Bev?
She went and had a happy life and let him be all sad.
You got that speech tomorrow.
She's like, wow, you're the worst. He's not that, like he was that suave dude that would go to Ryza and pick up an archaeologist. And he's like, this Romulan's really coming on to me and I just can't.
Why have you chosen to be alone?
I love when they do flashback lines to a scene that was a minute ago. Like, we still remember what she just said. Is he like the Beast? He has a dirty, decrepit part of his house?
This can be ominous.
With the rose?
I mean, if we're flashing back to when he was like 7, has that shard been there for 70 years? We didn't know Picard's childhood was...
Abused mother.
I want you to look up and imagine how tiny our voices are out there. So tiny you can't even hear them.
I want you to bottle it all up, internalize it, and then be a f***ed-up old man.
So all of that control we see in TNG is supposed to just be him repressing all his pain? It's not an actually a more evolved person.
No. He's a stunted person in TNG. He's fully realizing who he is as an old man.
Oh, okay.
You were watching
Great.
a horrible version of Jean-Luc in TNG.
Better just to not watch anything that was made before 2015. Those are some loud asteroids in space. And what was that stuff?
Oh, it sounded like you went through a pile of leaves.
What the heck is that? Because that doesn't look like a galactic cluster. Why is there a Constitution class?
Oh my gosh!
Not Constitution.
No, go back. That's from 12 Monkeys. That is the bell. That is like climb the steps, ring the bell. It's the upside down monkey from 12 Monkeys.
Well, this is the Enterprise C. I don't know why he has it.
I don't know why he has the time travel device that was stolen from Hitler, I think.
Because this is also a time travel reference, because that's that really great episode.
I love it. He's like, you know what, I'll fix Picard? I'll just put 12 Monkey stuff in it. Oh, I'm wearing a 12 Monkey shirt. I'll make it better.
We're looking everywhere for you with a cup of what is now definitely Earl Grey cold.
Well, don't give it to me. I'm not going to drink
make
it.
Make another one, woman.
Last night.
I'm trying to look at everything in the background.
And you were you.
I've come to expect disappointment with you, Jean-Luc Picard.
That the true final frontier is time.
Oh yeah, you mean the future? The undiscovered country?
The first fully Romulan cadet at Starfleet Academy, Elnor.
That kid is retarded. Like, he doesn't understand anything that's happening around him. How did he get in?
Go boldly into a future free from the shackles of the past.
But didn't we already do that?
That was like the whole premise of the show.
I choose to leave you with the words of...
Because only women are great.
She would point to the night sky and say, "Look up, Jean-Luc."
She told me to do that so I wouldn't hear my dad hitting her. He just... It'd be great if you could set that to English, you know. Why would you keep trying to shoot a hologram after the first shot?
Everything about that was annoying. He appeared in front of her, so she knew, oh, this is just a hologram.
I'm gonna unload into him, though, just to be sure. Out into space they go.
Stop talking.
Because I can't understand it. I don't speak Spanish. Why is he doing it in such a comically, kind of offensive racist voice, too? Like, that isn't how he speaks.
We've been touring the galaxy for over a year since the Federation ended the ban on synthetics. And
Isn't there like a super advanced race that's gonna kill everyone?
Yeah, we forgot about that. We hung up on them, so they're not going to come kill us now. I love that everyone is explaining, it's been a year since you saw us last, at least. Everything about this character is so off-putting to me.
I just wanted to see what hands could create such a wonder.
Also a murderer that faced no consequences.
so I'm staying here to continue being charming.
What LA rooftop is this?
All of these conversations are the most exposition dumpy possible. Everyone should know the information already.
I want to just fall on her face. It's like, I'm here.
Smoking on the bridge, that's cool. Remember the multiple times they talked about how no one smokes in the future? Whatever.
Well, and prejudice isn't an issue, but we already had that thrown in our face. Oh, everyone's disrespecting Seven because she has implants on her face. Not praising her as a hero.
Yeah, I know, right? Are they on top of the convention center again, or is that... Where is that?
So according to Memory Alpha, the real Stargazer was NCC 2893. So why isn't that just 2893B or something?
I don't know.
Because they don't care.
Yep.
And it's a memoir of the challenges that he faced when he was one of the first Vulcan cadets in Starfleet.
The first?
Oh, I can't with this.
Unless they're trying to retcon First Strange New World.
Yeah, no, that's what they're doing. They're having to, like, cover the already screwed up canon that the other shows are doing.
That boy's absolute candor can get his ass kicked.
You know how violent humans are. See, there's the right number. So they know the number, but they
didn't add a letter at the end of it.
So it's not a legacy ship, so there isn't some weird burden on Rios, so shut up. Just delete your show from existence, please.
Besides, few dents look good on her.
Hi, Seven.
The computer was like, please get her off the monitor.
Let me deal with this.
Oh, she's just still drunk on the bridge while he's smoking on the bridge. Like, what is this show?
Help us, Picard.
I love how they turned Picard into Mikey Spock. Picard was already epic. He didn't need to be the center of the universe.
Oh no, it looks different.
Probably still smells like urine, though.
Do you get it?
Huh? It was 10 forward, haven't it? Yeah, I saw it. I didn't need to comment on it because it made me dumber.
Because I watch the Red Letter Media's things, like, I know certain things are coming and they're so irritating.
Don't like to be reminded of their mortality, so I try to keep up.
Now we addressed it, move on.
So stupid.
Yeah.
The old days.
We just hang out with Vulcans and other long-lived species all the time.
Why did you decide to go to the stars in the first place?
Daddy was hitting Mommy.
To meet new civilizations.
Gentlemen, since I've known you, the only place...
If you're not talking about family trauma, you're basically just lying.
What happened in there that you and I have never talked about?
Nothing. But we made something up. She didn't drink hers.
She just gets poison.
Please, make yourself comfortable.
You. And then she just leaves.
I was just thinking too.
Caused a massive spike in Adler-Lasky temporal radiation. And then...
Adler-Lasky? It's another 12 Monkeys thing.
Oh.
Adler and Lasky were the two people that worked in the time place. This is the only fun I'm having from this show.
How many Easter eggs from a different franchise?
Yeah.
You don't have to wear the uniform, but you have to wear the insignia badge. And pretend like you're in Starfleet. Why was he going around making Guinan call him Admiral if he's not even...
He just wants to flex on Guinan? I don't know.
I just left without telling you because I don't care about you at all. You're my slave. I mean my servant.
Dr. Girardi's here as well.
Oh, gross.
Utilizes components derived from research on the Borg cube artifact.
Yes, of course.
It's like a Jewish person riding around in a Volkswagen. It's not cool.
Sense that my presence is increasing historic tensions and paranoia.
Oh my god.
Humans are so paranoid.
The older these refits get, the younger they look.
It's definitely not a refit.
Tactical, enhance.
We just zoomed in on a part of it.
Well,
looks the same.
Helm, back off. Give us some distance.
Why does it look like you're getting closer to it?
Yeah, you're not backing up at all.
I guess that was just the wrong camera shot
yeah, you
for
shouldn't
that
have
moment.
panned that way. It makes it look like it's going forward. It's like a Borg Boba Fett ship.
It's a Borg slave one.
Sure.
Why are your friends here? I'm very paranoid and suspicious of you.
The ship is Borg.
How would you not know it? Look at it with your eyes. And why do you have to get her to double check? Like 7? I'm also an ex-Borg. I should know.
I'm fairly certain that if we don't act, they will, so...
They didn't have any more conversation to have with him. They just talked to him once and then showed up and they all went to the briefing room.
The Borg consume. They assimilate.
You seem to be more racist than everyone else.
Then today is the beginning of the end of the Federation.
She was all like wanting Borg, ex-Borg rights and like saving them and viewing them as people that should be liberated. Now she's like, blow it up!
We will offer our queen.
7's like, no, she hit on me a lot. Don't bring her over here. I love how they're like on a ship that they've already established has been like made with Borg parts. And they don't think, hey, maybe the Borg can easily access this ship.
Sir, her transport signal is penetrating our shields.
It's almost as if we're using Borg shields.
Is this Star Wars villain?
I love that in this future, like, everyone on the bridge, they just all have guns on them. They didn't go get them anywhere.
7 gonna blow it. Shoot first.
7, Han Solo it.
You can have peace after we assimilate all of you.
Power.
Yeah. A scorpion?
Doc Ock.
Yeah, I would have shot it by now.
Shoot where it's interfacing.
Yeah, shoot the destroy the console it's plugged into. Oh no! Harry Kim got shot. Hey guys, I got an idea. Let's keep shooting with the same modulation on a Borg that's already adapted.
No main characters were hit.
Thank goodness.
Stop firing!
Hey, no one listens to the captain either. Oh, those are the ones that we saw from the opening.
Why did they even start with that cold opening? It made no sense to me.
They wanted to start action right away.
She's getting complete access.
Hey, it's almost like what I said, and I thought about it for 2 seconds and didn't build a whole ship.
Yay, the Borg win.
I just want the Borg to win at this point.
Right, end of series.
We cannot give her an armada, you know that.
Let's all kill ourselves.
I guess 7 was right.
Well, the thing is, women have to be right in every show now.
Activate auto-destruct sequence.
Oh, it just got assimilated.
Activated. Awaiting.
No code or anything, just anyone could just say that.
Yeah, what if you're just joking around?
Oh, did she rewire it to a song?
Authorization.
Oh, okay.
000, destruct 0.
That is the worst password ever.
Yeah, that's like, it might as well have been password.
In 10, 9.
There should be another code you can give to not do the countdown if it's time sensitive.
Look up. 3, 2, 1.
It was your mom all along.
Okay.
Well, that was a short season. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, just end it all.
The problem is, in the mirror universe, every woman's a little gay. So is 7 gonna be super straight in the mirror universe? That's how rich I want to get one day. To just have paintings of myself all over my house.
Laris, a Romulan name. In colloquial English,
God, these are like, they've reverted to Alexa level of intelligence. I wanted to mishear him and start playing a song or something.
Oh dear. You're a bit older than I imagined.
Oh, look at that. They de-aged him. I knew, I was joking when they announced he was gonna come. I'm like, they're gonna do it in 2 seconds just to explain why he's old.
Of the road not taken.
If the whole series is just still part of him showing that you'll age into a wimpy, awful little beta if you don't be cool, I'd be fine with that. Yeah, this introduction was too jarring, and it didn't serve enough to make you excited to know what was happening, because I completely forgot it happened.
Going off that, when it's red alert, it's blindingly red everywhere. They shouldn't have showed, like, Picard at all, maybe, or something, or... I would have been happy with the intro being... I mean, nothing about this is making me happy, but if the intro was, like, at the vineyard, that would have made sense. But, oh, no, that's what we did the first season, so we have to do something different.
Action, action, action.
Sometimes, you know, doing something to be different isn't the good move, though. That'd actually be appropriate, because...
What?
To start in the vineyard, because it's like... Because the audience hasn't forgotten that this isn't Picard. He's dead and been replaced with a replicant golem. So maybe showing him on the vineyard show, like, even though he's a robot, he's still the same old Picard.
Yeah, however they could have opened it correctly, they didn't do. The intro was visually more interesting, but they still has no good theme song to speak of, which is sad. To go to the vineyard, which it just seems completely unnecessary. Like, so much, this could be completely automated, but they're out there just like picking single grapes, and I'm like, is this what just rich people do? They're like, I'm not actually working the vineyard. I'm just there to watch it put holographic labels on itself.
Why would that even... I'm assuming the bottles are replicated, so it would be replicated with the label.
Yeah, we did it in his hand. That's what was weird.
His brother would be annoyed, too. Because remember, his brother was all about, like, doing things
the
old
traditional way,
so the
yeah.
fact there's any automation, he'd be like, nope.
Yeah, the awkward, creepy scene, which I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, what's...
Romance.
How old is this chick? I mean, Romulans can live longer and age less.
They're basically Vulcans, so yeah, she's probably like 150.
But it's the same thing that, like, it's happened in 12 Monkeys as well, when they showed, like, a lot of the time stuff where, like, James Cole's mom was actually who was... And they flash back... I know. Oh, sorry. and then they show that, but then in the flashback they use the same actor that was always his dad, and they tried to make him look younger. But in the scene when they're kissing, it just looks creepy, like an old man kissing a young girl. And in this, it's like, that guy is nearly 90. Like, that chick is not. The Romulan chick just comes onto him, and then he just can't kiss a pretty woman.
My husband's been dead for less than a year, but we have a connection.
Us Romulans move on fast. So he doesn't kiss her, and then you get a weird flashback of, like, him at part of his house when he was a kid, when they first moved there. And his parents moved out there because I guess they were fighting a lot. And he's like, is Mommy, Daddy still going to fight? And she's like, yeah, but the house is bigger, so you might not hear it. And then she tells him to look up. And I guess that's the origin of him wanting to go to space, was running away from childhood trauma.
He may as well have just grown up on that planet Yar was from.
I know. You know, Tasha grew up on a planet. Like, well, all of them seem to grow up on planets where there was rape gangs running around. She seemed well-adjusted enough. Picard's like, Mommy and Daddy fought, so I'm an old spinster man. Is that the term? I was more damaged in TNG when I seemed to have it together, but I was just repressing childhood trauma. Now I'm more healthy as an old man who's literally died alone. And now I'm addressing my problems. There's a rift happening in space. Picard's looking for a book and can't find it, which it's like,
there's a lot of green books with gold writing.
He's not that self-sufficient anymore. You can't find your own book, whatever, but there is the 12 Monkeys bell, climb the steps, ring the bell, monkey head that's just on there. So I guess now we know it's all connected universe. The Romulan chick's like, it's okay that I think you're impotent and don't want to date me. I've come to expect that of you.
He gives his rousing speech. He talked about the first Romulan.
And then we go to a scene of Seven's on. I didn't even remember what happened to Seven, so we're like, because this is supposed to be a few years later. So she's like on Rios' ship now, and it's just her and like holographic versions of Rios, which is like, I would be more game if you had more Jerry Ryan on the show. Why didn't she just change the holograms to look like her?
Right? Then she could, because she can't speak Spanish, so...
She doesn't need to speak Spanish! There's no need for a hologram to speak Spanish! But she's fighting off some people who are trying to steal supplies from the Fenris Rangers. There's a very stupid fight scene where this woman's shooting repeatedly at a hologram that clearly is not affected from any sort of fire, but she keeps doing it. Then Seven's like, oh no, there's a giant rip in space. That's a heck of a thing. Then I honestly didn't even pay attention to this scene that much, because it's like robot girls hosting a party where she just basically explains that she's a robot girl and tells you kind of what happened in season 1. And then the doctor with her eyes too close is just drunk and being rude to people. I think that was it, right? That was the whole scene.
You can't show, like, a man hitting on a girl like Riker and it, like, going well, even if, like, they don't connect. Like, we have to show these awkward, horrible interactions because this is all that the writers want humans to know now.
Then the drunk, close-eyed doctor chick goes to the bridge and staggers around while he's holding a cigar in his mouth on the Stargazer, which doesn't have a letter at the end. I don't know why. What's happening now? Oh, we go back to the academy, and what was Picard doing there? I forgot already.
Well, he had just given that speech, and now he's meeting up with his closest friend, the black chick whose name I already forgot. Raffi.
Rafiki. The judge of someone's character is how long they can keep friends in their life. And when you have people that are like, no, I've forged lasting relationships, even if you don't see the person all the time, you still at least somewhat talk to them sometimes, even if years go by. There's just never any mention of, like, outside of, like, Riker and Deanna Troi for, like, a hot minute, of him having any close relationships with the people on his TNG time.
This is where, like, Geordi should be, like, teaching at the academy. You, like, have a scene with him, you know, but, like, that means less time for the new crappy characters that we pretend are great.
People go like, oh, well, they're not affecting TNG. It's like, yeah, because you're undoing any progress. Like, at the end of TNG, you see him finally reaching out and making more connections. And so when the show ends there, you could be like, okay, he's gotten better. We're all always getting better. He's still the strong man, but he's allowing people into his life. And then you see this and he's like, no, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't learn anything in the finale, actually. He doesn't talk to these people anymore.
He played one game of poker.
And he's like, never again.
He lost and he was like, I'm not doing this again.
And then we got, what's his name? Burnett Legolas. What was his name in the show? Elnor?
Something like that.
He's the first full Romulan accepted into Starfleet, and Raffi's like babysitting him on her ship because apparently if he speaks candidly, he's going to get his butt kicked by other Starfleet members who can't handle that.
You know how badly trained Starfleet
You know how hyper-aggressive they are, and if they're slightly offended, they just attack each other? Rios and them are staring at the big anomaly.
Is this when it finally asks for Picard?
Yeah, and then a bunch of
stumble.
Yeah, a bunch of signals come in at once, and like the person who is not drunk can't figure it out, but a drunk doctor climbing over handrails in 2 seconds figures out it's a bunch of voices all calling out for Picard for help.
That's how good she is.
She's so good. Then Picard goes to a very bad 10-forward joke place to go see Guinan and just talks about how he's got problems functioning as an adult in the world, and she's like...
They don't even, like, make... They talk about how they have a connection, but there is no connection in that scene. It's disturbing.
The whole point of the scene is that Guinan's like, oh, I actually don't know about you. Mm-hmm. Like, there's stuff you're still not telling me, and you don't trust me enough to open it up to me. Which, like, their whole relationship was that, like, she was a really good confidant of his, and they had this connection that was next level, but then it's like, oh no, after all these years, you're just still not opening up with her. Like, that was the point of the scene. It's so dumb. She makes a bunch of allusions to stars and time and your heart and stuff, and it's like, okay, cool. Some chick comes from Starfleet to Picard's chateau and is
completely unnecessary scene.
They
asked
have
for him by
phones.
name. If he shows up, we would assume, oh, they told him and he came. I don't like how he was like, oh, you don't need me. It's like, you haven't heard an iota about why she's even here, and you're already, like, saying, like, just let me sit around in peace and do nothing.
This whole scene exists just so they could say Adler-Lasky radiation.
Oh, right.
But the chick tells him that, oh, there's a big rift, people want to talk to you, there's a race of people that can rip through space and time and want to join the Federation. Which, it's like, did they get more of the message than the audience saw? Because it just said, help Picard, and then she's like, it's a race of people that can time travel and rip holes, and they want to join the Federation. And then Picard just up and leaves the Romulan chick, who is literally the only character I seem to like on this show. And he just leaves the chateau and doesn't even tell her she's going anywhere.
She's literally the second in command of your estate, and you don't even bother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into deep space on this really shady first contact.
They get there, Seven's there, they say that the Stargazer has been made with Borg technology.
Yeah, and they call it a refit, which isn't appropriate at all.
Which is funny, because it's like, these people have no problem being on a starship that has Borg technology all through it, but apparently they're still hyper-racist that Seven's there. And she's like, oh, they're all looking at me when I walk through the corridors. I'm like, maybe it's because you have a bad attitude. They're like, yeah, there's a giant anomaly, let's all catch up real quick. And then Picard just is like, hey, Anomaly, I'm here. And then the Anomaly's like, hey, Picard. And then it seems really crazy because this is the first communication they've got from the Anomaly. And they all decide to just leave the bridge and go to the briefing room. Must have told the Anomaly, and this giant Borg ship comes through to wait, but
maybe that was a reshoot. They're like, we can't get everybody, but...
Yeah, so yeah, I know, right? Seriously, sometimes it probably is like that. Big giant Borg ship wants to talk to Picard. Seven's like, no, kill it. Just kill it. These characters never act proper. Ever. Seven was like this, like, freedom fightery person in season 1 who, like, wanted to help save Borgs on old ships because she saw the humanity in them and was like, even if they are Borg, we can unplug them. Like, she had that gift. And so, like, she didn't have this mindset to just want to kill them right away, but now she does. Then they decide to go back to the bridge, and then the Borg are like, it's been long enough. And then finally all these other ships come, which I don't know why they weren't there in the first place. Like, I thought would be a problem. If your ship is made out of Borg technology, it might be easy for the Borg to hack it, but they seem to think they're hyper secure until the Borgs just beam onto their bridge, and the Doc Ock Borg just shoots out these weird things and stabs into consoles, and apparently is like hacking into the entire armada and is taking control of their ship. And they decide to blow up the ship because they try to shoot it a lot. This little Borg figure with the weird blank mask. Is it Borg? Like, is this going to be some stupid reveal where it wasn't a Borg doing this or something? Because here's the thing with time travel. If you introduce a bad guy in the pilot but don't show its face, more often than not, that bad guy is one of you time traveling, doing something. So, like, I don't even know if that was a Borg person hacking into it. They try to shoot it, it's not working, it just stuns everyone, doesn't kill anyone, and then they decide to blow up their ship to stop it.
The ship blows up, and then we go to Picard back at home, but everything's a little wrong, and he's got a sword, and then Q is like, hey, I'm fake Q, and you're fake Picard.
Okay, this is, like, worse than fan fiction to me, simply because it's like, they're not the real characters. You're watching a dead man's ghost walk around, making bad decisions and can't kiss a woman. How is that a show? Oh yeah, and then the Romulan chick isn't there. He's got a
Yes.
He's got a robot person.
He's got an Alexa that walks around.
Yeah, horrible synthetic. And then but Q shows up young, and then he snaps his fingers and he's old, and we fix that. And he's like, oh, remember what I said back on the Good series? How it's never gonna be over, it's never over. And then credits. And I heard that this is the best one of this season. So, that's what we got.
Okay.